Well, as of today, it's April 29th. We're nearly at the end of the month, which means the official beginning of the summer movie season in May. It's crazy how fast May has gotten here, actually. I feel like we
So
just
Friday,
celebrated
it's May
New
1st.
Year's. Oh my God. I feel like we just celebrated New Year's. But that brings up a big list of the movies of 2026. And there's a lot of them coming out this summer between now and the end of August. So I thought I would pull together, and Rob, I know you did too, my top 10 most anticipated of this year. And, once I put the list together, because there's a lot of films I'm looking forward to that are after the summer, but I was actually surprised how many are in the summer that I'm really excited about. So we're going to start off my list starting all the way down at number 10. At number 10, yes, it made my list, even though I've mocked it a bit. Moana, the live action Moana. Listen, as much as I didn't really like that first trailer, or that main trailer they just put out, it's still Moana. I love the story so much. I think this young girl is going to crush it in the role. I think the music's still going to be delightful. I wish I could have it higher on my list, but like I said, that trailer just sapped a little bit of my energy for it. But I'm not going to lie, I'm still looking forward to it enough that I've got Moana, the live action version, in my number 10 spot. At number 9, The Devil Wears Prada 2. Now, again, I know some people might think I might have had this higher on my list because I keep saying about how legitimately solid and really good that first movie is. And that's true. That's why it's on my list. But the fact remains, I am still not the target demographic. It's not like I'm like counting down the days and texting my buddies saying, when are we getting our tickets for Devil Wears Prada 2? But it is something I'm really looking forward to see it. And the reviews have been pretty solid. It all looks good. I love Anne Hathaway. You got the greatest actress of all time. You got the Tooch. I mean, so why not? So Devil Wears Prada 2.
Super Tooch, John.
Yeah, according to it's
What's
Super
that?
Tooch.
Super Tooch.
Super Tooch. Devil Wears Prada 2 is my number 9 in most anticipated of the summer. That opens up, of course, in just tomorrow. Really opens in theaters everywhere tomorrow. At number 8, the Tooch gang will show up for this. At number 8, coming out on June 5th, He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. At first, I'm like, at last they're doing the Masters of the Universe. And I'm like, how on earth do you do Masters of the Universe? And then we found out Travis Knight was doing it. I'm like, okay, I'm on board. First trailer came out. I mean, we saw the first stuff for it at CinemaCon last year. We're like, this could be really good. I wasn't a big fan of the latest trailer, but then the newest stuff they showed us at CinemaCon kind of renewed my hope. So I've got Masters of the Universe all the way up at number 8 on my list. Okay, so once again, Moana number 10, Devil Wears Prada 2 number 9. At number 8, I've got Masters of the Universe. That opens up on June 5th. Opening up just a little over a week from now, it has dropped a little bit on my list from where it would have been before, but still at number 7 for me is Mortal Kombat 2. I have loved the trailers. The first reactions have been fantastic. I would have had it maybe 2 or 3 spots higher, except the CinemaCon presentation for it, I didn't love. So still on my list, knocked down a bit. I mean, look, we got Carl Urban in there, who I am loving in The Boys. So, I mean, there's a lot of reasons to like it. I get Hiroyuki Sanada. It looks like they're taking it with a better approach than they did with the last one, because I really didn't like the last one at all. So while it's not as high as it once was on my list, coming in at number 7 for my most anticipated films of the summer, Mortal Kombat 2. Once again, that opens on May 8th, just a little over a week from now. Okay. That brings us up to number 6, where the goat of all goats take a damn knee when this man's name is mentioned, Steven Spielberg's new film, Disclosure Day, opening up on June 12th. This is one that has moved up my list because I'm not going to lie, it's Steven Spielberg, so I've been excited. It's going to be on my list, but I haven't exactly been, clawing at the door to get into the theaters to go see it. But then they showed us the CinemaCon presentation of it, and I salivated. I'm like,
Me too.
okay, this looks damn good. And I got really excited for it. And of course, it's Steven Spielberg. You know, despite the fact that I know Steven Spielberg is the greatest of all time, like by a mile, I still have this habit of doubting him. You know, when he was doing West Side Story, I'm like, what the hell are you doing? For a whole year, I'm like, what the hell is Steven Spielberg doing? Why are you doing West Side Story? It was, I think an argument could be made it was the best movie of that year. It was like that good. And then Disclosure Day, again, I'm starting to doubt him a little bit. And then I see this presentation at CinemaCon. It's like, maybe one should not be in the doubting Steven Spielberg business. That might not be a good business. So Disclosure Day, all the way up at number 6 for me. That opens on June 12th. Now we get into the top 5. And at no point in the last year has this next film been in my top 5. But post CinemaCon, it is now. At number 5, coming out on May 22nd, The Mandalorian and Grogu. You know, I lamented before that I can't even imagine the fact that there's a Star Wars movie coming out and it's not amongst my most anticipated films of the year. But that's just the reality. I mean, you're basically taking a glorified episode of a TV show that did not end well with a bad season 3. And Rob, I'll be honest with you, I'm not even 100% sure 3 weeks ago, Mandalorian would have even been on my top 10.
I'm with you.
Not even on my top 10. But then they showed us the first 17 minutes of the movie. And you know what? It hooked me. I tuned in with the wavelength they were going for. I kind of got swept up in the adventure of it. It didn't just feel like a thing being shot on the volume. It actually felt kind of cinematic, whereas a lot of the trailers, to me, it felt very television. The opening 17 minutes felt kind of cinematic to me. I got swept up in the adventure of it. It really recaptured that sense of adventure that is what true Star Wars really is at its core. And it won me over. Not enough to go much higher, but it went from like 10 or 11 or 12 on my list all the way up to number 5 like that. So opening up in a few weeks at number 5 for me, The Mandalorian and Grogu. At number 4, and I'm actually surprised this is as low on the list as I have it. You've Got a Friend in Me, Toy Story 5. This is the movie franchise that everybody complains about when there's a new one coming, and then the new one comes out and it's excellent and is a huge success. And sure enough, Toy Story 5, same story. They announced Toy Story 5 just like they did with 2, 3, and 4, and everybody went, why? Why are you doing a 2? Why are you doing a 3? Why are you doing a 4? Why are you doing a 5? And yet they just keep producing really great stuff. And the presentation they gave us at CinemaCon, God, man, it just took me back. Like, when did the first Toy Story come out? 20 years ago?
Yeah. Like,
more than 20 years
30
ago?
years ago.
30 years
was
ago?
Was it 95?
Oh my God. Yeah.
Later?
I was watching this again and they showed us all this stuff at CinemaCon and I felt like I did 30 years ago watching Toy Story for the first time. It was just wonderful. I think this movie is going to be great. Fandango has it listed in their survey of all the Fandango users as the most anticipated movie of the summer. But for me, I'm excited about it. I've got it at number 4. We want to take a second to thank a sponsor of today's video, Pocket Hose. Guys, I'm excited to tell you about the world's #1 expanding garden hose and their brand new product, the Pocket Hose Ballistic. As you guys can imagine, I'm not exactly gentle with my gear. I drag hoses across concrete over the pool, yank them around corners. I even coil and uncoil them all the time to put them in my camper van when I go out on my movie meetups. And generally speaking, a lot of them don't last. But the Pocket Hose Ballistic has been a totally different story for me. It's incredibly durable, super lightweight, and just makes the whole job easier. One of my favorite things is how simple it is to use. You turn the water on, it expands. Turn it off, it shrinks right back down to pocket size. And it's reinforced with a liquid crystal polymer, the same kind of material used in bulletproof vests. Plus, it comes with the pocket pivot, which gives you 360-degree rotation at the spigot so it moves with you instead of fighting against you. And now, for a limited time, when you purchase a new Pocket Hose Ballistic, you'll get a free 360-degree rotating pocket pivot and and a free thumb drive nozzle. Just text Campea to 64,000. That's CAMPEA to 64,000 for your 2 free gifts with purchase. Text Campea to 64,000. Message and data rates may apply. All right. Now at number 3. Again, something I didn't love the CinemaCon presentation for, but I just like Superman so much. I've got Supergirl at number 3. Supergirl at number 3. Again, I've loved the trailers. I did not love the presentation they gave us, but I'll tell you what, I love Millie Alcock in the role. I think, the source material that this is based on is a really solid story. Getting to see Jason Momoa come in and play Lobo, which is truly the role he was born to play. And everything else. And again, I just love the way they introduce the character. If they can carry through like that and bring it, I think it's going to be awesome. I'm looking forward to a lot. It's my number 3 most anticipated film of the summer. Coming out on June 26th is Supergirl. Okay. That gets us into the top 2. The only question is which is number 1 and which is number 2. Coming in at number 2, Spider-Man Brand New Day. It's actually hard to believe, and it's actually awesome that I don't have this at number 1. So that's how great.
You think it's going to flop, clearly.
Yeah, clearly. I think it's going to be terrible. It's going to be flop if I don't have it at number 1. Man, I'm excited for this. Everything I've seen from it has been wonderful. The CinemaCon presentation on it just doubled down on how awesome I think this movie's going to be. John Watt's no longer there, who directed the fabulous first 3 films with Tom Holland. Now we got Destin Daniel in here, who obviously killed it with Shang-Chi, did a magnificent job with Wonder Man. And I think he's going to do great things with this. And we're going to talk about some of the test screenings that have been happening with that. And it's just hard. I mean, I still can't believe it. I don't have it at my number 1. But the reason I don't have it at number 1 is because of my number 1. The Odyssey. The Odyssey would have been fighting for the number 1 spot anyway. But that prelude, that Trojan horse scene that they released in theaters, how can it not be number 1 for most? And of course, it's Christopher Nolan. Like, there's a throne that currently 2 people sit in. That's Denis Villeneuve and Christopher Nolan as the best today. And he's just one of them, man. He's never made a movie I haven't liked. His last film just happened to win him a Best Director Academy Award and Best Picture. And this thing just looks outstanding. This looks like it could be his magnum opus. There's something about it that's making me feel like this might be his best film. Now, that's a tall order. I know. I'm not trying to get ahead of ourselves. I'm just saying kind of what it feels like. So again, my 10 most anticipated of the year. Coming out on July 10th, the live-action Moana. Coming out on May 1st, The Devil Wears Prada 2. Coming out on June 5th, Masters of the Universe. At number 7, coming out on May 8th, Mortal Kombat 2. At number 6, coming out on June 12th, Disclosure Day. In my number 5 spot, coming out on May 22nd, The Mandalorian and Grogu. In number 4, coming out June 19th, Toy Story 5. At number 3, coming out on June 26th, Supergirl. At number 2, coming out on July 31st, Spider-Man Brand New Day. And my number 1 most anticipated film of the summer, coming out on July 17th, is The Odyssey. That's my list. Now, I don't know. All these may end up sucking. They all may be all-time classics. They might be hit and miss, but that's how my anticipation list is right now. Rob, we got a big list of films coming. What does your most anticipated look like?
Now, obviously, all the movies you picked are, but I'm going to give you some more. First, I want to start out with Greg Araki's movie, I Want Your Sex. I'm a huge Greg Araki fan. He'd made the Teen Apocalypse trilogy, which is totally fucked up, the Doom Generation and Nowhere. I loved his movie, Mysterious Skin. He's one of the great... I think of him as the great LA indie filmmaker of the last 30 years. So he's got a new movie coming out, Olivia Wilde's in it, and it's about sex. So what's not to love? Then I'm going to give you...
You know what's funny? Olivia Wilde's got 2 sex-based movies coming out this year. She's got that one, and then she's got the one where she directed where her and Seth Rogen are swingers.
Yeah.
It's like
the Invitation.
Go Olivia Wilde, The Invitation.
That looks great too.
Looks really good.
Really good. Now I'm going to give you 4 horror movies. that I can't
Oh,
wait.
I already know what they're going to be.
Beginning with this Friday's Hokum.
Yep.
Hokum, another Roy Lee. That man finds.
By the way, I have an honorable mention list, and that was on my honorable mention list. Yeah.
He finds the scripts. You know how Ray used to say, "Send me your scripts."
Yeah, you'll screw it.
Well, they send the scripts to Roy Lee because he finds the best scripts. Hokum was a banger. The script was. I have not seen the movie, but I've heard the movie is a banger. It was the mystery movie last week. There was 2 mystery movies.
Oh, nice.
And everyone says it looks great. I can't wait to see it. Adam Scott stars in Hokum. That's Friday. So that's this week.
Yeah.
Tomorrow you can see it tomorrow.
Going
I'm going
up against Devil Wears
to
Prada.
see it as part of a triple bill on
Whoa,
Friday.
Triple bill.
No, I'm not kidding. Truly, triple bill.
Is
Hokum,
Prada going to be one of those?
what's that?
Is Prada going to be one of those?
No.
You're not going to go see
Not
the
this.
Tooch?
Not on. No, I'm going to go see the Tooch this weekend, just not Friday.
Okay, got it.
Going for the triple feature. Then on my birthday, May 15th, Obsession,
Yeah.
the Wish movie. Come on. Then Passenger, that you first told me about. That the first teaser was like a short film.
Short film on YouTube. Yeah, it's
and then the
incredible.
final trailer was even better. And then I wasn't as excited until we saw it at CinemaCon. Evil Dead Burn.
What's the release date on that?
I don't know. I think it's July. Is it July or?
For some reason, I thought it was October. I could be wrong.
And
Though. You
maybe.
might be right, and I
Am
might
I
be wrong
wrong?
on that.
I'll have to look that up.
Evil Dead Burn. So what is that? 5 movies right then and there?
Yeah.
See, now I can't even decide, but I will say this. I want to see Masters of the Universe.
Yeah, it's
You know,
July.
Yeah, it is July.
Oh,
Yeah.
See, for some reason, I was under the impression it was October. Okay.
Yeah, Masters of the Universe, just because, Trust and Travis, Guy Dias, I want to see it. And I don't know if it was a different trailer last night. Maybe it was a little bit different because it was an IMAX trailer.
That is
But-
the new. Yes, it's got some of the similar footage in it,
Yeah,
but that is
similar
the
footage.
new one they put.
There
out,
was
yeah.
some good stuff, like he
Yeah.
gets thrown in jail in the beginning of it. It was in front of Michael, so I like that trailer. I can't wait to see that.
You know what I got to say about that one too? I was off put a bit not when I first saw his costume, but when we first saw Skeletor in some footage, I was a little off put by it, but I have to admit it's grown on me. The look of Skeletor has actually grown on me.
Yeah, and when you see, there's a shot in that IMAX trailer that was different. That's a close up on his face, and you see the way his mouth moves more. It was really cool. And so that's definitely up there. And I think, what is that? That's 6. So I have 4 more left. And obviously they're not. It's just a different order than yours. I mean, for me, it would be. I too want to see Supergirl. So it would be Supergirl, Spider-Man, The Odyssey, and then finally my number 1 is Disclosure Day. Only because as a dyed-in-the-wool Steven Spielberg fan, I saw Jaws in the theater when I was 8. I've been a fan of his ever since. I love Close Encounters, him going back to doing Aliens, and him saying, this movie's more truth than it was the speculation I made with Close Encounters. Those are my bangers. But and of course, I mean, Toy Story 5 is going to be great. Devil Wears Prada 2, I really want to see that. Mortal Kombat 2, I want to see that. But I'm more, because I'm the horror guy, there's 4 what look to be
Bangers.
bangers.
Yeah.
And we know that Hokum is a banger already. And everyone has seen Obsession. Everybody I've talked to who've been at festivals think it's incredible. Like, it's one of the best times at the movies ever. And then Passenger just looks really good. And after we saw what we saw at CinemaCon for Evil Dead Burn, count me
That
in.
looks so nutty.
It looks so good.
That looks like the most Evil Dead has ever been.
And
Like, it really does.
Evil Dead are gonna Evil Dead. It looks great. And then there's so much other stuff I'm not mentioning, like smaller stuff that I'm really looking forward to. It was like going to see Mother Mary last night. I knew I wanted to see it. I honestly really didn't know what it was about. And I know that from the director of, The Green Knight, which I love, but I'm sure there's another A24 movie I'm missing, and I'll go see that. And I'm sure Blumhouse. I don't know when the Jessica Chastain movie comes out, The Second Mother or Second Mommy.
That's later. That's
yeah,
later.
but we saw that at
It's not this
CinemaCon,
summer.
and I'm like, count me in. I guess Social Reckoning is not this. It's probably holiday.
It's later, yeah.
But, there's a lot of great stuff coming out this summer.
By the way, you're talking about Steven Spielberg. I do want to throw this in. So for any of you guys who watched our CinemaCon coverage, we had, my buddy came along that you hear me reference all the time, my buddy Soul Video. He came. Now, he's the guy who was my very first producer when I came to LA. And he's my longest friend that I've had in LA. But he's the guy whose girlfriend of like 5 years, Jenny, she's one of the main curators
Oh,
of the
right.
Academy Museum. She's the one, you guys have probably seen all the news about the big Jaws exhibit. That's her exhibit. And she has the coolest job in the world because for the next 3 years, her job is simply to work with Steven Spielberg, getting ready for the Steven Spielberg exhibit at the Academy Museum coming out in a couple of years. So her whole job in life is going to be about working with Steven Spielberg, traveling around the country, gathering things to bring as a part of the exhibit at the that. How is that not the coolest job in the world?
It's the coolest
It's
job in
the
the world.
absolute coolest job in the world. Anyway, all right, guys. Question is for you. What do you think? I think it looks like a very promising summer. Now, a lot of these things can go bad. I mean, a lot of
Yeah.
these movies might end up being disappointing, but I think there's a lot of potential here. What are your 10 most anticipated films of this summer? Jump into the comments of the video and make sure you leave that list there. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.